How's it going, everybody? We are here today with another episode of Stock versus Not. Still working in the Dodge dealership. Today we have a third-gen Viper. That is the 2006 model year, which I believe is actually the last year the third gens are actually considered to be a third gen. This is the SRT10 Coupe, which, if I'm not mistaken, is quote-unquote the base model version, because I believe this is the year where we got the track crazy ACR model, but unfortunately this is not the one that the game gives you. Let's hop into the specs, see what we got going on. We have 573 performance points, 508 horsepower coming out of that huge V10 motor. We have 534 foot-pounds of torque, and it's actually pretty balanced, being a 49 front, 51% rear, and weighs just right around 3,400 pounds, so not a bad car. Like I said in the last video, I'm a big fan of the Dodge Viper. I think they're awesome sports cars. It's kind of sad that Dodge stopped making them. Definitely will take that over things like the Charger and the Challenger. Anyways, let's hop into the ranking board, see what we got going on. It's going to fall under the 600 performance point leaderboard, so it's going to go against its other Dodge brothers, the Hellcat, and wasn't there another Dodge? Yeah, the GTS, the older Gen 2 Viper is on here as well. So, with it having 508 horsepower, I'm not going to expect it to be a sub 1 minute, to be honest with you. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it might be just barely a sub 1 minute. Like the GTS, the O2 model, did a 59.4. So I'm going to guesstimate it's going to fall within this like 11, 12, 13 position marks here in the leaderboard. So we shall see. Let's go ahead and hop into the car, get our laps done, and see what we can do with this thing. We have the nice yellow color, which I think for a Viper, yellow, red, blue, just something that's not your typical silver gray color is what a Viper should be. That's if you get it in one solid color. Obviously, if you get something that's like a plain color, you need to have a racing stripe that is loud, and just to show that it's a sports car. So let's go ahead here. We are on sports hards tires. I don't know if I said that already or not, so it should help this thing navigate Suzuka just fine. For those of you who are new to Stock versus Not, basically what we do is we grab two of the same road cars. One remains stock, the other one is fully modified, and we see how they compare on the same course. And that is the Suzuka Short Circuit or East Course, for those of you who are familiar with the game and the track itself. A little bit of understeer coming from it, but I guess for a sports car with this much power, understeer is a little better than having oversteer shoot you around. 59.223. I think that actually just put me right on par to what I was guessing. Let's see how late we can brake on it. Brakes are pretty good on the stock car. You just have to keep in mind of that weight transfer. The suspension isn't quite tuned for late braking, and the body roll and weight transfer can definitely upset the vehicle here. Tires, not that bad. Definitely could ask for some more grip in the game, but it's a stock configuration. Let's be honest, these cars were, unless they were outfitted like the ACR, most people were taking these out for cruises and showing them off at car shows. Another good lap out of this car. Look at that. Shaved off a second. 58.038. So I was extremely wrong. It is going to be well below a 1 minute lap time. And yeah, we were just testing the limits of how late I could brake. That 100-meter board might be a little too late for a stock one. Third gen is, I would say, is like the last generation where it kind of looked like the original Viper. After that, they kind of did some revisions to like the front. It's obviously it was still a Viper, but I think this one is still very reminiscent of that first gen and second gen, and then it kind of got crazy with its body lines and headlights and whatnot. But at the end of the day, that V10 is what you buy this car for, and it is an absolute screamer of a machine. All right, 3 laps down. Best would have been a 57.860, but we did a 58.038, so I'm okay with that being our time for the stock car. So let's see, where did that put us in the ranking boards? Would have actually been, the optimal would have been very close to the Hellcat, actually, so that's very surprising. Beat out the F-Type, which was our leader for the stock 600 performance point leaderboard for quite some time, and just behind the GTR. So yeah, this definitely would have been up here with the Charger if we hit that optimal time. All right, cool. Let's go ahead, switch up the car. We're gonna go into a fully modified V10 SRT coupe. No engine swaps today. I don't see why you would need to engine swap a V10 out of this thing, but what do we have? We have 781 performance points, 938 horsepower, 795 foot-pounds of torque. We did cut down some more weight, but we did have to add a little bit of ballast to achieve that 50-50 weight distribution. Car just seemed to kind of like that. Racing soft tires. Here's my alignment specs for it. And down there you'll also see the differential, which was kind of where I had to do a lot of tweaking. Obviously with that much horsepower and torque, it was lots of power at the lower end of the rev range, so just trying to keep that monster tame on the corner exit. Downforce settings, obviously we have the fully customized computer all the way. Here's where I have the ballast set to. Fully racing transmission. Like I said, I only mess with the top speed adjusters, so we have it set to 360. And here are the bolt-ons we have for it. Keeping the brake controller at the middle there. Oddly enough, this is probably the first car I've actually had to add ballast to the front versus the rear. I think this car might be more so mid-engine front, which is kind of, I guess it makes sense since the V10 is such a long hood. I think the engine's kind of pushed back towards the firewall a bit more. But yeah, just something to consider when you're doing one of these, because even like the alignment specs, I originally had it set up how I usually set up most front engine rear wheel drive cars. But as you can see, like roll bars, the dampening is almost reminiscent of almost like an MR car, like a rear engine, a mid-rear engine rear wheel drive car. Yeah, let's go over to the ranking boards here, see what we're gonna be up against. It's gonna go against its other Dodge brothers here. Yeah, so 48.577 is what we're probably going to be gunning for. These are all just a little bit under 1,000 horsepower, and yeah, let's see if we can get a 48 something out of this Viper, because right now the Nismos are currently leading and the Dodges are kind of middle of that top 10 pack. So let's see if this Dodge can dethrone the Nissans. And this one, of course, we have it in black paint, but we have that red racing stripe, which just makes this thing an absolute looking race car for the most part. The ACR kind of came in this color combination as well too, so that's kind of why I went with it. And it's just a very iconic color combo for a third gen Viper, I believe. So let's see what we can do with it. I basically made it into an ACR when it comes to the looks. Once I'm done with these laps, I'll show you guys here. But it's basically looks like an ACR Viper at this point. It's handling a lot better than the stock car, that's for sure. Those racing soft tires it changes up any car for the most part. Take a stock car, put racing tires on it, and it's hilarious how much better the car handles. Opening lap was a 49, so we are on pace to get to that 48 mark. Can we dethrone that Nissan? That is the question. For the fully modified cars, we do about 5 to 6 laps just to make sure we get a good gauge on how much these cars can do. Plus, these are usually the more interesting cars to drive than the stock configuration, so still a little bit of understeer, but that's what I was fighting with the suspension setup and the aero. Let's see what we can get out of this thing. Brakes are still very good. Well, I might be able to go a little bit deeper than that 200 board. Typically when you're reaching those 4-digit horsepower numbers, you need to brake a lot farther away from those brake markers. Oop, there's that understeer again. Can we keep it on the track? Nope. Okay. Alright. This lap is best. This car definitely has a 48 in it. I just need to get a racing line established and just have it go. You saw there, this car makes an enormous amount of wheel spin, so that's why those differentials just have to be cranked up a bit just to keep this car going straight. Because it did suffer from a little bit of power oversteer on corner exit. Let's see if we can get these S's done right. Alrighty. Let's flip it down here, get some rotation out of it. Not the optimal line through there. This car has a 40 in it, I know it does. It drives fine. Oh, might be a little too late on the brakes there, or not. Come on, Viper, you can do it. Let's go through here. Just let the car roll through these S's is the name of the game here. So gotta be wary of this last one here. Then you want to set up your exit just fine here. Yeah, this understeer is killing me right now. Oh, come on. Stay with me here. Okay. Alright, this might be a 7-lapper. I'm sorry, guys, but this car has it in it. I just can't seem to get this car figured out. Oh man, it's not even like it's the most, powerful car I've done on this channel. It's just something about it is naturally aspirated V10. I just can't seem to keep this thing tamed up. The Viper is definitely biting me back, that is for sure. Maybe I'll just fast forward through all this until I finally get the lap. Nah. You're gonna suffer with me through this whole journey as well. Alright. Lap number 7, let's do it. Let's get this thing down to a 48 and get it up there with the other Vipers and dethrone those Nissans. This might be a slow in, fast out type of car. I think I'm driving it wrong is what I'm thinking. Purple, that's good. Purple is good. Definitely a different line through here. We get the brake. Continue to roll it through. One more turn. Don't botch this up. Let's see where we landed. going. 49.222. We're still moving. Let's do a lap 8. Why not? This car has brakes. I don't need to. I was wrong about that 200-meter board. We can definitely go a lot deeper with this car. Back end's gonna get loose on me there. I think I'm gonna call this the last lap though. I'm not gonna keep you guys here any longer than it needs to be. You get the gist of things. Learn how to drive a car and you'll get a better lap time than me. I gotta show you what the car looks like too. That's right. Cone. Alright. 49.222 is the name of the game for today. Let's show off what the Viper looks like. So yeah, basically ended up making it look like an ACR for the most part. Big wing, T37 the world, because why not? It is wide bodied too, but yeah, very cool looking car. Love the way how these things look. But that is the Viper we did today, and let's go ahead see what we made of it on the leaderboard. Did not make the top 10, just barely. That Skyline GTR, the I think that was the R30. Which R30? Which R1 was that? R34. Yeah, R34 is number 10. This made it to number 12 on the leaderboard, so not terrible. What does that mean for the 800 performance point one? It is right behind the GTR, and yeah, so that's what the SRT10 did. I think the optimum was like a 49.1 something, so it could have potentially been in the top 5 here. But other than that, I think I wasted enough of your guys' time today, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut up, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.